Something hunts these mountains, shaped from myth. Formed by the spirit of the mountain man, he lives by the way he hunts. Born of the mountains, blood of the Indian, he survives by Hawken and longbow. He's alone, he's free, he's forged by the elements. Journey with the last of a breed, Sasquatch Mountain Man. Black lines on parchment only hint at the adventure Laramy Sasquatch Miller seeks. To some, these are mountains, but for others, they are the bare backbone of a wild continent through which life's spark flows. And Laramy Miller's quest has been to make his way here, traveling and hunting as the mountain men of another century did. His gear may not be foolproof, as when his Hawken rifle misfires. But that's part of the bargain he's made with the game and the land. Trading cold efficiency for challenge. Now he moves on to his next adventure, Wapiti in the mountains of northeast Washington, in what was once Oregon territory.
Just heard a bull moose grunting. It'd be cool to see him.
Laramy is on a hunt for elk, but the first big game he finds is a young bull moose. It seems that Laramy and the bull moose have been vying for the attentions of the same cow with their calling, and Laramy may have won, perhaps to his regret.
These killer moose can be dangerous.
Without question, moose injure far more people every year than bears do. This lone cow, though, doesn't have a calf, so it's probably safe for Sasquatch to play charades with her, pretending he's a fine figure of a bull moose.
I was just playing with her. You know, the big bulls will get to waddling past the rut a little bit, but you never know. She wasn't too spooked, so it's all fun.
Laramy's picked his campsite beside fast-flowing fresh water to make his life easier. And it's not just Laramy that values water. It's vital to the elk who will come here to drink and wallow, increasing Laramy's chances of finding them along here. These damp woods, though, make it difficult to find dry bark for tinder to build a fire. The best choices are spruce or cedar bark, which will dry quickly. Laramy knows enough to build a compact teepee fire, reminded by the old saying that the Indian makes a small fire and sits close to stay warm, while the white man makes a big fire and stays warm collecting wood.
You know, I usually hunt in nothing but stuff that me or my grandpa have made. But in a lot of these states, because I'm carrying a black powder rifle, you have to wear orange during that season. Puts a hiccup in my game, but that's what the law says, and that's what I'm gonna do.
This stately and splendid deer, the lordliest of its kind. Those the words of Theodore Roosevelt about the elk.
Okay, we're here in eastern Washington. Most people don't think about eastern Washington when you think about elk hunting, but they've got a good population of Roosevelt's in the west, and eastern's got a good population of Rocky Mountain elk. So we're here to hunt Rocky Mountain elk today. It's nice and cold. It's probably 30. Hopefully these elk are up moving around. Should be fun. Let's go hunting.
These blowdowns, mossy giants scattered like matchsticks over the mountainside, a chore for even Sasquatch to hike across, but hardly noticed by the elk who clear them in one bound. It may not look it, but this is the easy part of Washington State.
Washington is known to have thick, dense forests, but here in eastern Washington, you don't have the big undergrowth like you do in western Washington. But as you can see, you look up through there, it's still thicker than heck. So it's either going to be a real close shot, or it's probably going to be too far for the old Hawken. We're going to have to get up close and personal. Got two nice bulls up there on the top.
Sasquatch is brought to you by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side.
Hunting elk with his Hawken in eastern Washington, the first game Laramy Miller finds is moose. But he presses on in his pursuit of the stately wapiti. Through the heavy growth of timber, he does see deer.
From last night, most of the time when you see it all clumped up like that, it's probably a bull. Cows will crap while they're walking most of the time. So he was in here last night. Now we just gotta find him.
On a distant ridge, much too far for his Hawken, Laramy spots a herd of elk, telling him that they are indeed here. Carrying a blued steel muzzleloader requires the constant care of the hunter.
Here I got just some regular old gun oil, and I'm just gonna oil down all the metal on this so it'll help prevent it from rusting as much. And as much as I'm in the woods and as much as I'm out here, you can't help but get a few rust spots here and there, you know. Go ahead and load her up. I've got my bullet. You want to make sure it's seated real good because it's a big uh-oh if you've got airspace in between your powder and your bullet. It can be a big hiccup. Now I'm ready to go kill me an elk. All I need is put a cap in there. I'm ready to go.
It's a good thing Laramy oiled his gun as sleet slashes in. Wet from the coast and the cold from the north meet up in these mountains. And for Laramy, any elk that may be out there are soon swallowed up in the heavy bank of fog.
I like it tough, but this makes it really tough.
Now, rain comes in to make matters worse.
Now it's starting to rain. We got lots of fog. I think I'd rather it be snowing than this crap. Got two nice bulls.
in the steep terrain of eastern Washington's forests, Laramy Miller follows elk sign as the weather and visibility turn bad.
Possibly the worst hunting conditions you can have.
Conditions like this affect rifles too. By choosing a black powder Hawken, Laramy has upped the ante on this hunt. In its day, nothing matched a Hawken for reliability. Yet misfires were to be expected.
Misfire.
A flake of powder or a speck of rust is all it takes.
I'm gonna go ahead and pull this breech plug out. At the end of this is where your cap goes. There's a little pinhole, goes down, and your powder is seated right there at the back. So your cap sends the spark, lights your powder on fire, and then you got your bullet. See, and I usually like to take this and soak it in soap water, because as you can tell, there's a little bit of rust. You can see where the gunpowder is on the end. You know, you want to make sure that's all as clean as you can. Say your powder gets wet or your gun's not clean properly, say that little hole right there gets clogged up. You pull the trigger and all it's going to go is pop. It's going to be like a cap gun. It goes pop. You think he's going to stand there and look around and see what happened?
A misfire might cost you an animal, but it could cost you your life. Laramy Miller has experienced the crucible of a misfire on old Ephraim the grizzly. Only the bear's momentary confusion grants Laramy's suddenly clumsy fingers time to find one new percussion cap.
Dang it.
It's the thought of past misfires that haunts Laramy on this hunt for elk.
I do bring a bore brush. Swab your barrel until you're not getting any more black is the biggest thing. You want to clean your gun every 8 shots or so. Your gun's going to be firing different because it always fires a little different when it's clean. I like to, after I clean it, fire it. That way, I've got a little bit of powder. The barrel's seasoned for me. So when I do have that big bull elk standing there and pull the trigger, that bullet flies true.
Before the days of the Hawken, facing Mr. Grizzly was even more perilous. The only mountain dweller mightier than Sasquatch is the grizzly. Many found the tales of the bear's cunning, ferocity, and resilience to be outlandish until they met him. Lewis and Clark, with 6 of their expedition's best hunters, had the misfortune of surprising an enormous boar along a riverbank. From 40 yards, 4 hunters fired their rifle balls, striking home. But the bear, foaming frothy blood from pierced lungs, charged on through the smoke of the flintlocks. Swinging long-clawed paws like war hammers, the grizzly scattered the 8 men, frantically trying to stuff powder and ball into their empty rifles. 3 more shots found the bear, but seemingly without effect. 2 of the hunters ran to the edge of a tall bluff above the river. The grizzly, in enraged pursuit, and leaped onto the shallow water 20 feet below. Without breaking stride, old Ephraim dived after them, determined to exact a price for his wounds. Shooting down from the bluff, another of the hunters crashed a ball. The 8 fired into the bear, into its skull, ending the terrifying pitched battle along the banks of the river. Laramy pushes on through the dense forest, hoping to see an elk at a distance where he can plant a stalk, but also knowing that he may need to be ready for an elk at point-blank range as he's working through the brush.
Got 2 nice bulls.
Sasquatch is brought to you by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side.
Laramy Miller has found moose in this one-time Oregon territory, and the spoor of the elk he hopes to take with his Hawken as he follows along the trail of the mountain man in the dense forests of eastern Washington.
country here in eastern Washington is so thick. I mean, you can't see 10, 20 yards. And when you can see a distance, it's 5, 6, 800 yards. It makes it really tough when you're trying to go after something with a smoke pole. Ideally, I want to be 100 yards or closer preferably, but the only thing I can think is get up as high as we can and get to where it opens up a little bit at tree line, or head down the mountain a little bit to where it opens up so that we can still hunt and actually have an opportunity, because in this stuff, it's so loud and so thick that them animals, and they can hear and smell and see you way before you can hear, smell, see them walking through this thick stuff. So we gotta evaluate our game plan and change it a little bit.
Laramy's plan leads him to the higher country, where he can scan the horizon as he searches for elk and see the changing of the seasons unfurling below him. The yellow and red colors of fall spreading through the forest leaves like the embers of a coal fire. Beside his fire tonight, Laramy can feel the shadow of a possible misfire, adding to the growing tension of this already difficult hunt. But he sleeps, nonetheless, because he has to. Sasquatch's dreams are his own, but maybe the dream of this hunt is about to come true.
Well, we got 2 nice bulls up here on the top of the ridge. They're about 1,000 yards away, but we're gonna haul ass over there and see if we can't get up on them.
What can you say about country like this except too tall to fly over and too thick to crawl under? Laramy draws as close as he can, but even so, it's still a considerable shot for the Hawken 54. Laramy seats the percussion cap as carefully as if he were setting a diamond in a ring. "200 yards, and the bull elk didn't hump up and isn't dragging a leg. Now, Sasquatch must go and hunt for blood."
I think I hit him. That was a far shot for the muzzleloader, but I think I hit him. Let's go check.
Agonizing moments. If Laramy doesn't find blood, then maybe the elk isn't hit. But if he finds it, his day and his doubts have just begun.
Got blood. These are some big, tough animals. I smacked him with the 54. It's a little over 200 yards, so it didn't go completely through, but I mean, he's bleeding, and he's already gone probably 100, 150 yards. But how in the did he run through here and not get blood all over the place? Keep waiting to look up and see him, but this is ridiculous. He's probably gone 400 yards. You know, I love elk hunting more than anything, but this right here is what really kills me. Is I shot this bull. He was probably a little out of range. I've made that shot many times. I hit him, but after looking at it, I don't think I hit any vitals, but I drew blood. Once I draw blood, I'm done. That's the way it is. That was a dang nice bull. I'm gonna keep looking for him, and hopefully I can find him, but if I don't, it was a great hunt, but I'll have many sleepless nights thinking about it.
Certainly the mountain men, whose path Sasquatch walks along, had sleepless nights of their own. Now the ice is here and winter's coming, and Laramy will have to leave the elk country behind as he follows his quest. Laramy will have one last supper and one last uneasy sleep here in elk country before he breaks camp. He has other marks on the map to reach before his season ends. This meal is not what he planned, not fresh liver and heart, but it is still part of the same bounty.
Bet you didn't know Sasquatch was a gourmet chef.
Tonight, Laramy will lie by his fire, and if the sky clears, he may see the star to point him in his next direction.